Well, good morning, everybody. I thought this week I'd talk a little bit about stories, storytelling, story writing. As we're making a story device, stories are going to be the most important thing. I keep talking about plastics and electronics, but if the stories are no good, you wouldn't come back. So that's really important, is to get the stories right. Now, I have a deep, deep love of storytelling, and it goes back to, I think, as a teenager, I discovered that Star Wars was based on real, serious academic research into storytelling. There was a man called Joseph Campbell who researched um, religious stories and fairy tales and looked at different languages and cultures and asked, why do some stories live on? Why do they last? I wanted to be a horror writer when I was a teenager, and that's this pile of books you see behind me is my output. But I do have something free for you today, which is something, if you ever wanted to write a book, I created a novel writing course, which I put on YouTube for free. And it now actually forms part of a university curriculum in Algeria, of all places. It's part of an advanced language studies course. And every now and again, I do these live web chats with all the students. But how this came about was I was deeply fascinated by stories, storytelling, and my first book took me several years to write. And I thought there must be a better way, and I streamlined it and I figured out a system for writing novels quickly. And now I can write a novella in about 6 weeks and get it published. And I wanted to do this with thinking, if I was a teenager, I would have loved this course. I would have loved this knowledge. So I created it as a course for teenagers. And I worked with three young kids, and we got them published in paperback. These are all like 15-year-old kids, and there's Amy. Amy was, I think, 14 when we started writing this detective thriller, and she was 15 when we got published. And the other guys, Dustin was 15 when we started writing, and 16 when he was published. Same thing for Neve, 16 when she was published. And I thought, I've made this course and I've got it working. I'm going to turn it into a business somehow. I don't know. I'll take 6 months and I'll figure out a way to commercialize this. And right as I started on this process, I had a younger brother who died very suddenly, and it was completely out of the blue, and it just took the wind out of my sails. And I just wasn't enthusiastic, and the idea of turning it into a business was kind of tied to my younger brother, and I was like, wasn't that interested. So I created a course, and what I did was I sat down with a blank sheet of paper and went through every step of the storytelling process to finish with a published paperback. And I put it up online and then forgot about it. And now I find out, oh yeah, well, no, we teach it to kids at the university. And so anyway, I love stories. I love storytelling. It's a big important part of audio adventures, obviously, because we need to we need to use all of the mechanics of storytelling. Stories, people love it. People will make an investment decision if there is a good story behind the company. People get tricked and swindled if there is a good story that the trickster's got. In fact, sometimes you get them together, like Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos. She was a confidence trickster who had a massive company. She brought in hundreds of millions of dollars into a tech startup for blood testing. It was fake. Good story though. She had a really good story that she told. So storytelling is, I think everybody likes stories, even if you don't realize. We make sense of the world through stories and through storytelling. I absolutely love it. I've spent years just reading books about how stories work. So if you are interested in writing your own story or writing a book, I'll put the link to the course underneath. So there's a whole free course where, if you can stand hearing my voice for lots of videos, there's about 20 or 30 videos where I literally start with a blank sheet of paper and finish with a published book. And if you're interested, go take a look. I'll put the link underneath.